Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into something that is absolutely critical and, honestly, often incredibly frustrating for contract furniture dealers. I want you to just picture the day-to-day reality in most dealerships right now. You're likely running operations on, 5 to 10 completely disconnected systems. You've got quotes living over here in one software, orders stacked up over there in another, and somewhere in the back office, somebody is literally matching invoices by hand. And inevitably, right in the middle of all this chaos, a massive project falls behind, and nobody knows exactly why. Visibility is zero, manual effort is through the roof, and you can just feel the stress. Well, that's exactly the reality we're unpacking today, and more importantly, we're going to look at how to actually fix it. But let's clear the air right off the bat. Here's a core truth we absolutely have to acknowledge. If you're dealing with these operational struggles, if deals are dragging out, or invoices are constantly mismatched, the problem isn't your team. Your people are working incredibly hard. They're putting in the hours, double-checking their work, and doing everything they humanly can to hold a highly fragmented process together with sheer willpower and, let's face it, way too many sticky notes. So if it's not the team, what is it? It's the infrastructure. That is the true root cause of all this workflow chaos. You are essentially asking a team of really talented professionals to build a modern skyscraper using hand tools. The technological infrastructure that your dealership relies on is failing you, not the talent you've hired. And once we accept that a failing tech stack is the real culprit here, we can start looking at exactly where the cracks in the foundation are forming. All right, moving into section 1, where dealer workflows break. Let's walk through the life cycle of an order to pinpoint exactly where things go off the rails across 4 classic breakpoints. Step 1, quote re-entry. Someone on your team is actually sitting there manually rekeying manufacturer PDFs into your quoting system. Every single time they hit a key, it's a brand new opportunity for human error. Step 2, approval bottlenecks. Quotes get sent out, and then they just stall. They sit in crowded inboxes waiting for sign-off. Since your systems are disconnected, there's no visibility, no automatic escalation, and the deal just goes cold. Step 3, order handoff errors. A quote gets accepted, which is great news, right? But then that same data gets re-entered into your order system and then typed out again into the manufacturer's portal. You're entering the exact same data 3 separate times. And finally, step 4, invoice mismatches. By the time that final invoice goes out the door, it mysteriously no longer matches what was originally quoted simply because of all the manual handling in between. 1 to 5%. That's the amount of annual revenue lost directly to billing errors caused by manual entry and those invoice mismatches. Think about your dealership's total annual revenue for a second. Now, carve out up to 5% of it and just throw it out the window. That's what a broken, disconnected workflow is costing you every single year. It is way more than an administrative headache. It's a massive, silent drain on your profitability. Which brings us to section 2, evaluating workflow software solutions. So how do we actually stop the bleeding? Let's build an objective checklist you can use to evaluate your own tech stack. Question number 1, and this is an absolute deal breaker. Does it integrate with your existing systems? We're talking about the foundational tools you rely on every day, like Hedberg, Project Matrix, 2020 Worksheet, eManage 1. If a new piece of software forces you to completely abandon the core tools your designers and salespeople already know inside and out, or if it refuses to talk to them, you're just creating another silo. Seamless connection with your existing foundation is absolutely crucial. Okay, question number 2. Does it cover the full order cycle? Look, you don't want a Band-Aid that only fixes the quoting process but leaves accounts payable completely in the dark. You need a solution that handles the entire connected flow. That means quoting, ordering, acknowledgments, AP, all the way through to final shipping and logistics. The data needs to flow continuously without anyone ever needing to print it out or retype it. And the third and final question for our checklist, does it provide real-time visibility? When a client calls out of the blue and asks for a status update, your team should not have to put them on hold, email 3 different departments, and go digging through a manufacturer's portal. They need instant, real-time tracking of quotes, orders, and deliveries right there at their fingertips. Now, when you take those 3 questions, integration, full cycle, and real-time visibility, and you apply them to what's out there on the market, you really see 2 completely different paths. Generic software platforms, well, they might check 1 or 2 of those boxes, but they don't understand the specific nuances of the contract furniture industry. Channel-specific platforms, on the other hand, are built from the ground up for the complexities of your business. They check every single box because they were designed specifically to solve the exact problems that dealers face. All right, section 3, the truth about AI. There is so much industry hype right now about artificial intelligence, so let's just separate the buzzwords from practical reality. AI is incredibly powerful, no doubt, but it is not magic. Where it genuinely shines in this space is in three specific areas. First, document processing, like actually reading those manufacturer PDFs and pulling the data out accurately. Second, anomaly detection. Think of it flagging a quote where a discount looks drastically wrong before it ever gets sent to a client. And third, operational visibility, predicting when an order might fall behind based on historical data. But here is the hard truth. AI absolutely cannot magically fix a fundamentally broken operational process. So here is the core directive for any dealership looking to modernize. Are you ready? Connect first, automate second. You absolutely must connect your fragmented systems first so that data flows cleanly. Once you've done that, then you automate the high-frequency, repetitive work. And only then, when you actually have connected systems and clean data, do you layer AI on top of it. If you try to force AI into a disconnected, messy workflow, you are literally just going to generate errors faster. Let's wrap things up with Section 4, How Strata Changes Everything. I want to introduce you to Avanto's Strata. It solves this entire disconnected infrastructure problem by bringing 5 critical operational areas into one single integrated system. You get quote-to-cash, order and project management, AP and financial operations, shipping and logistics, and catalog management, the whole shebang. This is the definitive channel-specific workflow automation platform built specifically for the commercial interiors and contract furniture channel. Instead of juggling 5 separate logins and dealing with data silos, your entire dealership operates from one unified source of truth. And when you finally connect those systems, the real-world speed increases are just dramatic. Strata clients actually report that their quoting process becomes 75% faster. 75%! Imagine getting quotes into your client's hands in a quarter of the time it takes you right now. That is a massive competitive advantage. But it's not just the front end seeing all the benefits. Check out this massive efficiency gain in financial operations. Clients report spending 87% less time on accounts payable processing. That means your back office team is no longer bogged down manually matching invoices and hunting for frustrating discrepancies. They are finally freed up to focus on higher value work. Now, if you're wondering if this is battle-tested, the answer is undeniably yes. Strata currently supports over 130 dealer clients who collectively process over $325 million in transactions every single month through the platform. This is a highly robust, proven infrastructure built for real volume and accuracy. And remember our evaluation checklist from earlier? The very first rule was about integration. Well, Strata checks that box perfectly. It natively connects with major industry tools like Hedberg, Project Matrix, 2020 Worksheet, and eManage One, as well as major ERPs like NetSuite, Epicor, and Acumatica. It doesn't replace your foundation. It supercharges it by acting as the connective tissue between everything. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Look at your dealership right now and ask yourself, is your operational ceiling defined by your team's talent or by your infrastructure's limits? Your people are likely capable of so much more if only they had the right system connecting their work. The workflow problems holding your dealership back are completely solvable. If you want to dive deeper and see exactly how this can work for your specific setup, I highly encourage you to check out goavanto.com or just send an email to sales@goavanto.com to learn more. Stop letting broken infrastructure dictate your success. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.